Coming up on this week's edition of Parkland TV, we will be giving you the breakdown of how our nation will be reopening and an inside scoop on the feud between AMC Theaters and Universal. I'm Ireland Truckley. Stay tuned for this and much more on Parkland TV. Welcome back to the 8th week of Parkland TV, Off the Air. Today is Friday, May 8th. All senior exit surveys are due by next Friday, May 15th. You can find this survey on the Class of 2020 Schoology page. Don't forget to check out the senior highlights that were made by our teachers on the Parkland High School website. To start off our show, Zoe Streeter will be giving you an update on how the U.S. will be reopening.
It's finally happening. The country is reopening. Or at least it's starting to, and only in certain places. I'm sure you've heard about Georgia and Texas, but what about the rest of the country? And what about us? Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced that he was planning to reopen the state on April 24th. That's almost an entire week earlier than Trump's guidelines of April 30th. This wouldn't be a small reopening either. Nearly all businesses, including dine-in restaurants and hair salons, would be open.
We were successful in our efforts to protect Georgians as well as our state's healthcare infrastructure. With favorable data and approval from health officials, we took a measured step forward by opening many shuttered businesses throughout Georgia.
Soon after the Georgia reopening, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced his plans for reopening. Recently, retail stores, restaurants, and movie theaters have all opened. On May 18th, assuming cases stay low, gyms and hair salons will follow.
Texas, the second largest economy in the U.S. The new policy there starts Friday. That would be May 1st. It involves a wide range of businesses, but not schools, at least not so far.
But what about us? Governor Tom Wolf announced his plans for reopening the state late last month. This includes a 3-tier system, a red, a yellow, and a green tier. As of today, 24 counties throughout the north and west regions of the state have reopened from the red stage to the yellow stage. The Lehigh County, because of our high number of cases, will likely not reopen until the end of the month. Pennsylvania is now among 30 or so states that have begun their reopening processes. The states that are still in lockdowns are experiencing protesters who are putting pressure on the government to reopen. This quarantine has definitely been hard on all of us, but it's all been for the better. As our country tops well over 1 million cases, this quarantine probably prevented 1 million more. So until we're in the clear, stay home, keep social distancing, and stay safe. If things go well, we've only got a little longer to go. Reporting, I'm Zoe Streeter.
Thank you, Zoe. Remember to always wash your hands and wear a mask if you will be going out for any essentials. If you have not heard it on the news yet, Chloe Hummel is bringing to you the situation between Kim Jong Un and Kim Yo-jong.
In recent news, Kim Jong Un, leader of North Korea, went under a life-threatening surgery and has rumored to have not made it through. Since then, it has recently been reported to have been a fake death for the purpose to catch any betrayers in his close circle. After undergoing his surgery, Kim Jong Un left the public eye for 20 days. He was unheard of, and many claims were made by the media that he was either sick or dead. Throughout the 3 weeks the leader was hidden, North Korea made no comment about the situation, although South Korea announced that he was alive and well. Throughout these conflicting statements, President Trump has also mentioned, almost insinuating on North Korean leader's health, "I do know he's doing, relatively speaking, we will see. You will probably be hearing in the not-too-distant future." Trump also denied any media rumors about Kim being either ill or deceased. Before any clear word was given in the media, Kim Jong Un made his first new public appearance at the ribbon-cutting ceremony for a Finnish fertilizer factory in Suncheon. He was said to have been smiling, laughing, and smoking during the event. This was a sign that all other suspicions were just rumors, but the question still remains what truly happened to the North Korean leader during the period he was missing. Various media outlets have presented different ideas regarding the situation, including the suggestion of Kim Yo-jong, the North Korean leader's sister, to take over the country, granting Kim Jong Un has passed. The world is shocked by the leader's disappearance, but is confused yet again by all the uncertain news that has been put out during this time. I'm Chloe Hummel reporting for Parkland TV at home during quarantine.
Thanks, Chloe. Up next, Vito Rosato is bringing to you the feud between AMC Theaters and Universal.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, many businesses have been struggling to make revenue, and one major business that has been suffering is the movie theater industry. Universal Studios decided that they would release their new movie, Trolls World Tour, straight to digital platforms because of the movie theater ban. The digital release was sold for $20 a pop and has grossed roughly $95 million, which is not as high as the first Trolls. However, because it was a digital release, the studio pocketed 80% of the money produced from the sequel. Because of this success, Universal decided to release movies both theatrically and digitally. NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "The results for Trolls World Tour have exceeded our expectations and demonstrated the viability of PVOD. As soon as theaters reopen, we expect to release movies on both formats," end quote. In response to this, AMC has banned all Universal Studios movies effective immediately. AMC's reasoning for this decision was, quote, "It is disappointing to us, but Jeff's comments as to Universal's unilateral actions and intentions have left us with no choice. Therefore, effectively immediately, AMC will no longer play any Universal movies in any of our theaters in the United States, Europe, or the Middle East. This policy is not some hollow or ill-considered threat," end quote. Because of this, future blockbusters such as F9 and James Bond: No Time to Die will no longer be available at AMC theaters. Services like Netflix and Disney Plus have proved that movies can be successful even though they didn't go through theaters, so Universal moving to a digital platform may prove to be more harmful than helpful to AMC in the long run. However, senior media analyst Paul Derjabedian says, quote, "When movie theaters come back, we're going to return to a much more normal revenue pattern for big screen and small screen companies. The thought that streaming can defeat movies is completely misguided. People do not live by one style of content or one platform alone," end quote. Whether this is all harmful or helpful to either party in the long run is unknown, as only time can tell.
Thanks, Vito. For our final package of the day, our English teachers are bringing to you a special message. A big thank you to our English teachers for that special video. Who knew that Shakespeare was so old? More information for the class of 2020 can be found on the Parkland High School website under the Students tab. That's all we have for you on this week's edition of Parkland TV Off the Air. I'm Ireland Truckley. For more news content, follow our YouTube and Twitter at Parkland TV Film. Thank you all for tuning in on this week's episode. We'll see you next time. Keep your head up, Parkland!